To find out which bulb is best, we need a dark environment. So the producers have sent us on a trip to a professional photography studio in Birmingham.
Looks like you've packed light, Georgie.
Indeed, but I guess what you really want to know is what lights I'm packing.
Absolutely.
Both brands offer a variety of ways to make your home lighting smart.
So the producers have asked us to assemble our own starter kit, which includes a standard bulb, motion sensor and colourful lighting strip. So we can put each brand's products through their paces. Mine are from an established market leader, Phillip's HUE, but they don't come cheap. All my kit comes in at £135.
And mine are from a new company called HUE. They've only been around for just over a year.
And my entire selection here costs just £51. That's a fraction of the price of George's.
Two brands with two very different price tags then. Time to get on with test number 1, brightness.
Controlling brightness could mean the difference between waking up a grumpy spouse and having enough light to read a favourite book. So this round we'll find out how our bulb's brightness compares. So we're going to be cranking the brightness up and down on our smart bulbs.
And we're going to find out which of our two bulbs has the best range. I'm going to be measuring the light falling on the arm of the chair here using this light meter.
And to make sure my light meter takes an accurate reading, we're drawing the curtains and turning off all the studio lights.
For this test, we're fitting a standard bulb from each brand into a table lamp. And for Philips, I've chosen their White Ambience 1100 model, costing £30, which lets you control brightness and temperature. So that is now on 100%.
And I'll take a reading. I'm getting 28 lux.
While manufacturers often quote how many lumens their bulbs emit, lux is a good way to compare real-life performance, as it's a measure of the amount of light that falls on a surface, like a book. But at maximum brightness, does the Philips bulb provide enough power?
It's quite hard to read. I can't quite get through my Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde book.
Yes, I'm on Dracula.
I think quite fitting for the mood lighting that we've currently got, John.
Yes, it is. And again, it's not something I'd like to read by. It's be quite eye-straining,
Yes,
I
would almost want it a little bit brighter. Dare I say it about my own light bulb? A poor peak power performance from my Philips then, but smart bulbs have the advantage to dim to low levels too. Handy at night time, but how low can it go? There we go.
So it's more of a night light, frankly.
Yes, I mean, you definitely couldn't read by this at all, but would be great to navigate your way to the toilet at night.
It's actually too dark for the meter to register. It just says under.
I've broken the system.
Well, I'm going to try a closer position for the meter. I'll put it on this book here, directly under the light.
Yes.
0.8 lux there.
OK.
It's like a candle.
So the Philips isn't very bright, but can go down very low. How would HUE's one and only standard bulb compare? It's not only £20 less than the Philips, but offers a wide spectrum of colours too. First, the brightness test.
Let's try it, let's see what it says. Coming in at less, actually, 23 lux on the arm of the chair.
That means George's HUE is a whole 5 lux brighter at the top end. But how low can I go with my HUE?
Well, I mean, that is reading 2.3 lux on the arm of the chair.
Which mine didn't even get to that point.
No.
So, in conclusion, the HUE definitely has a better range.
Yes, not quite enough at the top end, but a better range nevertheless. It's brighter and it'll go dimmer.
So the brightness test goes to my Philips and puts it 1 up. Will John's budget brand fight back in round 2? Motion sensors.
While our bulbs offer many ways to control them, including by voice, the smart lighting systems on test today are also compatible with motion sensors, which allow our bulbs to turn on and off automatically based on movement. But how well do these sensors work?
To find out, we're going to take it in turns to see how close we can get to the sensors when navigating this domestic assault course.
Each sensor is paired with a smart bulb, which should turn on when motion is detected.
But before we start, I've got a little confession to make. I've had to buy an extra bit of hardware.
What and how much?
It's a bridge. You need it to make your sensor work, and it costs you £50.
Whereas mine doesn't need any extra hardware apart from the sensor.
And that's because my bulb uses Wi-Fi to connect to the motion sensor. To make sure we don't cheat, we're going up against each other's sensors to see how close we can sneak up without triggering the light bulb.
So, John, my HUE sensor's up first, so do you want to get creeping?
I will. Oh.
Off you go. Oh, he's starting off with a commando crawl. Love that, John. You can control the sensitivity of the Phillip sensor using the Paired app. So to pick up John's stealth-like moves, I'm turning it up to maximum. So hopefully it's going to go on in just a second. John, stop.
Right, I've got to here.
John did all he could to sneak up on my Phillip sensor, but it's detected him as soon as he popped out from behind the curtain at about 3 meters.
Could the hay beat it and detect George's motion from further away?
Right, I'll get creeping.
Unlike the HUE, the hay's motion sensor has only one setting. It claims to detect line-of-sight movement up to 10 meters away.
Oh, very good, using the screen.
Yes, not the first time I've done this, John.
It also has night vision and a detection angle of 120 degrees.
Oh, it's flashing. It's flashing.
No, the bulb's still off.
Even though George is being detected from a similar distance, the reliance on the photography studio's Wi-Fi has meant a delay in my light turning on.
Ah, it's on now after 2 or 3 seconds.
Meaning George's bridge, which doesn't use Wi-Fi, has proven more reliable and given the HUE setup a 2-0 lead.
But can the hay claim a win in Test 3 later on in today's programme when we start to paint the studio with colour? Part 1, we saw the Philips HUE lighting setup take a 2-0 lead after its white ambience bulb won the brightness adjustment test and its motion sensor proved to be the most sensitive. HUE, you have come out on top.
But can the hay setup fight back in our final challenge, testing each company's colourful lighting strips?
Both smart light strips create colourful backdrops at home, but at very different prices. My Philips comes in at £70.
Whereas my hay comes in £45 cheaper.
But which will prove best when pushed to their limits in our professional photo studio? To do this, we are going to do a fashion photo shoot. Yes, we've got to try and get our smart lighting to match the exact hue of model Lorna's outfits.
The best matches out of 3 different colour ensembles wins. Bring on the first colour.
Some lighting setups can struggle to accurately reflect real-world colours with a natural look, so we want to find out how flexible the colour spectrum is on our lighting strips. And first up, I've got to match Lorna's lovely deep red dress.
George's Philips HUE light strip has a colour palette of 16 million different colours.
I'm not sure if I'll get through them all today, but it's very easy to change just by going into the app and using this colour wheel. Right, try and get that to match. Ooh, do you think that's it? I feel like that is the best I'm going to get. Yeah?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Nick, please take your photo. That's it, Lorna. Pose. The Philips light strip has 1,600 lumens of light, and the punchy reds really complement Lorna's dress. But how would it fare with her next costume change? It's a lovely green one. Despite a claim of having so many colours, my Philips can't quite reproduce the deep emerald green dress, with the light looking more minty and washed out. How about outfit number 3, a purple tracksuit? Let's go with that. While the Philips struggles to replicate a truly rich purple, the light is pleasing and fairly even. Could John's hay setup do any better?
Right, well, I'm almost ready. I'm going to go for maximum intensity.
My hay light strip has a colour palette of 15 million colours. That's 1 million less than George's.
I think that's as close as I'm going to get. Nick, take the shot.
But are there enough shades of reds in the app to match Lorna's rouge frock? While in patches, the hay light strip is able to match the reds of the Philips, the image is duller and washed out in places. Onto the green dress.
OK, let's go with that.
OK, Leona, turn to your right.
My hay seems to have come out rather minty on the green ensemble too. Side by side with George's Philips, it's hard to tell them apart. But what about the final purple fashion statement?
I think that's quite good, John.
Right, I think that's as close as we're going to get on that purple, I think.
The hay light strip produces a somewhat duller purple than the HUE. When compared side to side, the difference is quite obvious.
Well, that's the third outfit. I think that's a wrap. Lorna, Nick, thank you so much. So, after an afternoon snapping, when it comes to colour reproduction, the HUE also comes out on top, making it a clean sweep in today's testing.
But taking into account the extra bridge hardware Georgie had to buy, her Philips bundle is £134 more expensive. Is it worth the extra outlay?
Well, is it?
Well, if you're looking at just the light bulbs, I don't think either performed that well because they just didn't get that bright. So, yeah, I wasn't that impressed with that.
But when it comes to the colours, I think the HUE offers a wider range and is worth the extra money if you're into that sort of thing.
And my children are into that sort of thing. We have a lot of fun with our smart bulbs.